happen?
Like end your stream with you?
Yeah. How the fuck that happen? Yeah, you ain't. This show ain't over yet. Stop your shit. Anyway.
But I guess that's his weapon.
Oh, you got the character too?
Yeah, I lost my 50-50, got to an RAC4, but then after carbon pose, pulls at 130, I got Lyney.
Lo and behold.
Also, I think still good the dumb thing. Like, Gary Martin think I was going for Yelon. Alright, how does this begin?
I have Yelon right before you and I start the fucking Fontaine. Ain't that weird? There goes the pterodactyl, ladies and gentlemen.
I ATM, I faced the crab. The crab died easily.
Crab raid?
Yeah.
Oh!
Also, there's another crab in the water ATM that's very hard to beat because you need a certain item to beat it with.
Huh.
I'm guessing it's a pain in the ass. It might be best to work together because it's holding the chest down in the water. You have to use like one of the things from the crab. There's also like a stingray. Face two twin stingrays that are a pain in the ass that can kill you in 2 shots.
I have witnessed all of them. They're fucking annoying, but overall.
I think we definitely upgrade our water abilities. You agree with him on that?
That's why I switched different elements, just in case I'm ready to build some of the stuff. But the HP, I kept it. I felt like I chose the right time to give the traveler that sword.
Is it good that we can actually swim under water and don't have to come up for air on the game?
Oh yeah, that one's changed. I'm glad it changed that. That's a good mechanic.
Yeah, because let's be real. Keep going up will be annoying, they agree and stuff. Thank you.
Well, we're gonna get used to it. In the end of the day, we're still gonna get used to it. There's nothing we can do. Alright, for those who's watching the stream, sorry if something cut off. Apparently, something cut me off. I don't know who or what. Piss off. That was fucking weird and a half. Anyway, let's continue.
What are you talking about? Lyney doesn't like his
I'm on fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so far. There will now be a brief intermission, after which Lyney will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show. The one we've all been waiting for. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
Phantom Weasel never did no public place.
Oh yeah, ATM, what do you think about the crabs and stuff, by the way?
Don't worry. This place will be quiet soon.
That we face in the game?
Okay. Give me a minute. This one is gonna be tricky. Jack, hold on. Let me continue this story before you do anything. Alright. Something tells me I don't like the idea.
But I can't. Literally, I can't.
Don't worry. Where you at then, anyway?
No, it's more of those, like, I've come to the realization I can't do anything online now.
What the fuck is happening?
Because the freaking router keeps crashing 24/7, and I'm having to, I'm gonna have to tell my mother that we're gonna have to get a new one. Because I'm trying everything, I'm trying to plug in it, everything, and it keeps doing it. So I'm like, hey, so it's like one of those.
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And
yeah, because I was gonna try to cross my help on Monster Hunter today, but I literally can't because it keeps crashing.
This is a big mistake for a magician to make. But thankfully, I do have a backup plan.
And I even had
Now, who wants to hear a story?
I was even having Chris asking me about doing a raid on DG, and I told him I can't. By the router just going down.
Alright, Jay, give me a minute. I gotta hear this story. Why is she...
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Really? Well then, let's hear it! I might die of curiosity here!
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine, She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false reason to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
So then what? Being the master deceiver she was, the Weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe, at her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic bags, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the Weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
I've gotta hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. That's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this. Pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the reason. And in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Oh, perish the thought.
Wait. So you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of admitting to being the Weasel himself?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Lyney, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we? If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd show ugly ragdolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became breeding ground for dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others. In all its forms alike, I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true. And it will fill the void in my soul.
That's some pretty heavy stuff. Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
So what was the...
That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to life.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Lyney. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House. But why?
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? You met him?
I should have known.
Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we did not forget. And so we came to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Free? Do you really think so? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life did many things for you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps it's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole. Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you've done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life. But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you'll never see it again.
Congratulations on your freedom.
Jen, your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Lyney to perform his final act in tonight's show. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is a death-defying high-altitude escape.
A high-altitude escape?
10 years ago. The trick that Caesar died attempting.
I'm sure you all remember the magician's teeth. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. We have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crime.
Guess that's my cue to leave. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous. Traveler, pilot, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Lyney, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So, what are we doing? Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show. But what about Jenna? She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lyney after the show, you know where you'll be. The usual haunt. Alright, well, let's go and watch Lyney's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but you should be able to pull it off, right?
Sinian, deep darkness and despair for you. Open the fucking door. I guess I know the answer of how Fontaine works. And I think we need to target the Hydro Archon indeed. Hey! Oh, hold on. Is that Snowman? You might want to check on Discord and Genshin. Drake, check on Discord and Genshin. Someone's trying to spoil it. Remove it.
No spoilers allowed.
Alright, question. Who put it? Who posted it?
I'm loading Discord now. Takes a little bit of time, I'm checking now. Let's see.
Okay. Impressive.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defying.
Okay, no spoilers, yeah.
Magic is hard work. Every single movement has
Maybe someone removed it already.
Alright.
It's alright. We're used to that.
But I don't know.
Oh my god.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much.
I'm using some strawberry toaster now.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world.
By the way, team, I didn't wake up to around 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I only hope that one day
I was out like a light.
find your own truth.
Alright, hold on.
Have you found the truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be? Look! Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
Did you see that? One minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flour.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes. What a heart-stopping magic show. This is really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steamboat tomorrow. Oh, looks like everyone really loves Lyney's grand finale.
Even though they don't know of the full story.
I doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go? Oh, the next step is be waiting for us at the usual time. But,
The ceremony.
You mean the one where Caesar's married? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seems like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him then.
Nicely done, Lyney. Yep, he was the easiest one.
Lyney! There you are. Are you alright? I'm almost scared to death from the chamber. I'm almost sure something has gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. The magician has to be creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar's thought in those final moments. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip right until the end?
You know, I must have wanted to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached it.
Agenda.
I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done. But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance. The rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make nifty props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves. But without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, he hid so many things from me. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, it's my passion. But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I've forgotten how to trust by then.
I don't blame you.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you? But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. I guess it's the price we have to pay. You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
We're in Europe, and we're not. Don't be sad.
Yeah, cheer up, Lyney. We've had to say our fair share of lies during our journey too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's crew?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in them, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me, and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. Alright, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
It was amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the opera house just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show. Lyney, can't you just one more trick for us?
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my seats are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you think it's something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything when he puts his mind to it.
Oh, alright then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand! You ain't going along.
Huh? My goodness, you're right! But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
Really? Let's see. Wow, look at this! Oh, this is a different flower than the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose. But more importantly, Paimon has to know how to trick and dance with.
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Fine.
since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Is that it?
Ah, look at the time. We should linger here too. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
Alright, bye. See ya. Shall we make that sound cute? Paimon can't wait to read the Steamberg tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Caesar will be planted all over it. Let's head to the Steamberg's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
One more. I have a lot of final thoughts. Trust me. We almost done. Prep final thoughts. That was good. What now?
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Lyney. I want to take a moment of your time. If you would be so kind. Huh? What's happening here? I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning. But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along. That was quick.
Too late, bro.
That was quick, you said. It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Whoops! Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Okay then. Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
What?
Charlotte is a journalist. Burn red. We're going to somehow.
I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quick fire question. Where did you all go after the show? Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself.
No, I...
What the... What now? This is getting pretty awkward. Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Never mind. There's always next time. Forgive my persistence, but we miss us. Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish was to see Lorenzo one last time. There's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious. Alright, I guess I'll leave you to continue.
Oh, poor mom, you're an idiot and a half.
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You can't climb under there.
You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
Okay. Okay. Alright, what we can do, you know what, we'll wrap it up. We'll put up one final thought and a place now I started to have to go. And this is way before 10 years. Alright, let's go take a look. Hey guys. Alright, I can sit here. Final thought time, guys. Let's do this. So, in order to understand this whole situation, we have to understand 10 years ago. Way before 10 years ago. And it's the true Phantom Weasel, Gemma. In our childhood life, she was filled in darkness, betrayal. Family didn't want to raise her. Family was doing their own situation. Left in the street. No allies to have. No one to be around with. Left alone in the dark. And her mind, the darkness getting to her mind. Has grown as much older. She knows that in both age, from a child to old age, the age she's in, she sees nothing but lies and myth and illusions, or the other shit that they say. The seek out the truth was never gonna be revealed. In order to prevent these truth, she needs to prevent Caesar's death. Now, Caesar is one of the greatest magicians, thanks to the story you witnessed. But to go down like that was the most toughest thing. On the same note, Caesar has met one of the two kids, Lyney and Lynette, how to learn magic. One of the diary he meant about it. He was so eager to perform one of those tricks, and taught him very well. The only thing he didn't want to was trying to find out is the truth. But even he says magicians have to hide theirs. During the time, Lyney, during the time Caesar's death, Gemma decided to use Lorenzo to be the true primary suspect in order to keep the hiding secrets from him. In the end, after all 10 years, she was the main reason. And now she weeps away in the darkness, along with Lorenzo. Love can do anything. Love can do so many dark things. Even though love is supposed to be a light, but sometimes it could be dark. But at the end of the day, she'll be left alone. Well, she won't be alone for now. For Lorenzo and Gemma, let the abyss swallow you. And I'm not talking about the abyss order. I meant my abyss, the abyss of the underworld. But I'm starting to get where the Fontaine basically the truth are. Now we know what we need to do. No more hiding. No more lies. And enough games. Hydro Archon. Sooner or later, the truth will be answered. And the crime you make, you shall pay for it. The truth will be answered soon. Not for chapter 4.0, but it gave us more one reason. You cannot escape the truth. And the way it is, it's like how many life is. Truth hurts. And it hurts many ways. Even though you don't want to admit the truth, or you do not want to hear it, it's gonna go right to the emotion, both mind and soul. Let's just hope when we get to the next update or here to find more evidence of this new Hydra Archon and what crime she committed to the death of the previous Hydra Archon. Any case, well, I'm gonna end this stream here because I gotta figure out what the fuck happened through my previous Wi-Fi issue. But a good story, a good setup. But now I know the answer here. Oh boy, the Hydra Archon cannot escape these thorns. The more lies she can do, the more pressure the thorn puts. We had to prevent the prophecy. And the only way we could prevent this prophecy if the Hydra confess the truth. Oh boy, I'm gonna look forward to do this. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna end this stream here, guys. I'll see you guys in the next stream. And like always, subscribe. This is ATM 77 Unleashed. The channel has been unleashed. You live and you learn. Take care, everyone. Bye.